Hey, you know you retired whenever you don't know what day it is. Ruth and I got up today and noticed it's Friday. Are you kidding? What happened to Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday? I guess it's time's flying by, right? Man, 1 week older, didn't know it. Today I'm going to talk about voltage. Voltage in the Philippines. Hello, hello, hello. You guys know me as Tom from Tom and Ruth Philippine Adventures. Today, voltage is something that can go up and down. It's like, it's like if you imagine a water hose, you leave the water on and you have your faucet closed at the end on the water line, and if you just bend the hose, open up the line, it goes out and it stops. Well, voltage here is like that. It surges really fast, then it slows down, and it surges really fast and it slows down. And what happens with that, after a period of time, it just deteriorates any items that you have. It could be a printer, it could be a stove, an electric stove like a inverter plate, it could be a rice cooker, it could be just about anything that you own. And don't think that it does not affect it. It does. So, what do? Well, you can buy a device for each one of the devices that you have. That'd be really cool if you could. There'd be a lot of devices and a lot of costs there. You can get what a regulator to regulate. You got to step up or step down. If you bring things from the States, you have 110. You need to step up. If you have 220, and like my house here is 110 and 220, this house is 110. So you need to step down. But all the appliances that I purchased, and most that people sell here now, back in the day when I first got here, they don't, is 110 or 220. So you can use it on 220 and you can use it on 110. So I was in, for an example, CDO, and I bought a fridge, and it's 220. Brought it to my house here, plugged it in. It's 110. So it's adaptable. Now, what can you do to resolve the situation that you have appliances that you bring in from the States here? It could be mixers, it could be drills, it could be all kinds of things. It could be air compressors, it could be tools, things that air tools, things like that. It's so many things that you have 110, and guys are bringing them here and they're burning up and blowing up. I burn up a $150 printer really the first night. It really made me mad too. It's a Brother printer. It's a gorgeous printer. Paid $150, shipped it here. It was, burn it up first night. Didn't think it was 220 here. So what you can do is you can buy a inverter for the house. It's a pain in the neck, but an electrician can install a regulated voltage mainline protector for the house, and it runs a constant 220 or 110 or whatever you have your house set up to be. A lot of people, believe it or not, I talked to the guy up in Luzon, he's building his house, he had it wired 110. He says cheaper. And I said, I thought 220 is cheaper. But I have noticed, though, I have to tell you, this house is 110, that house is 220. I think that yanks more power, but they always say because it's single pole that it's going to run more power in this 110 house than it will in that. I don't know if that's true. I'm not an electrician. I'm not an expert on it. I should put a meter on each one of the houses. I have meters. In fact, I have a meter on my solar to know how much that's producing. And you could actually do in a box that controls the electricity coming in your house. Now, what that does is it keeps it a constant speed. So you're running, instead of running 220, then it goes drop down to 209, then it drops down to 197, and then back up to 220 or 236. I have had it as high as 236 volts running around the lines. Now why? Why is that running 236? 236! What that does, it burns up just about anything you have plugged in. Air cons don't last long. So what I started doing, and what we started doing, we use heavy duty surge protector plugs. For an example, I got some from the States, guys sent me. And these inverter plugs, they stop it before breaking an air con or breaking an air fridge or things like that. Now, luckily on the house that we have here, And this house has been hit by lightning. So can imagine the voltage going through this house when this house is hit by lightning. This house was hit by lightning. Luckily it's grounded, so it's no big deal. Knocked out a couple LED lights. These overhead lights are LEDs, right? Everything I have is LEDs. And I had them install LEDs back in the day instead of putting the fluorescent bulbs in the beginning. You know, China in the beginning, they had those round fluorescents. And I had them installed. So there are many ways you can actually save money with your electricity, and then you can actually help regulate it where you don't have that. Now, what they do is during the day, they'll what they call, instead of a blackout, they call it a brownout. A brownout is when they take the power and they run it really down. Now, why do they do that? Why? Your lights are bright, they're really bright, and then it goes dimmer, 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 dimmer. It'll stay dim for it could be as much as 10 seconds, maybe longer. And then, boom! It's as high as it could get. I mean, they used to expecting that bulb is bright. Now, why do they do that? Because they gain more power and more money. Now, what they do also here in the Philippines, and you know, this, oh, we don't do that. Sure they do. I talked to a friend of mine which worked at the dam which produces the power. They shut power off at peak times on purpose. And they may only leave it off for, it takes it about anywhere, depending on the line and how far it is away, anywhere from 3 minutes to 4 minutes to 5 minutes going down the line for it to affect. Now what happens is they shut it off for 5, 10, 15 minutes, and then they'll kick it back on again. Well, everybody is not home, so all the appliances that are there, now they still have the old spin meters around in the days, and then they started putting these digitals. Now they say digitals don't do it, but the spinners, they have the spin, and you can actually watch the unit. Once they kick that thing on, it'll just spin really fast. And what that's doing is peso, 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 peso. And you do that on a regular month, they're getting thousands and thousands and millions of pesos. And what it is, it causes the guy that's paying, say, 80 peso a month, his bill would normally be whatever, 40 peso a month. And there are bills where they're 40, 50, 80 peso a month, or 200 peso or 300 peso. A lot of the families here, because they just have a light bulb on. They heat by wood, they just use a light bulb. They have no TV, they have nothing but light bulbs. So there's many Filipino that live with no aircon, not even a fan, and you do that. Some that have fans can get 200, 300, 400, 500 peso, so anywhere from $8 to $10 to $15. In Mexico, for example, I have a friend that runs his aircon 24/7, and his bill's $25 a month. But they're in a completely different system there. Here in the Philippines, it's gotten worse in the 8 to 10 years that I've been here, or 9 years, excuse me, that I've been here. It's gotten so much worse that I don't ever remember power going off. Not saying it didn't, it did, but it never went off as much as it does now. Hold on. I'm knocking on wood because as I'm doing this, so what you have to do is you have to really think about, if you're coming here, even if you're renting a place and you have a fridge that's owned by an owner and that thing breaks, he's going to probably try to get you to pay it because, hey, you know, it was working fine. I just bought that thing's only, you know, 15 years old and you got to buy it. They will do that, and that happens. So what you want to probably do is put a regulator or something on that. Just regulate it. So it's like, remember the old UPS systems, you plug it in and it pops the button up, and it's what they call them, GTI buttons that protects the units from burning. So that's probably what you need to do. And you bring it from the States. The States has the best. Don't buy them here from China. Don't buy anything here that you possibly can. Ship it in and bring it. Don't buy any of the stuff here because it don't work. I can vouch for that. A friend of mine, Tim Nielsen, sent me some nice stuff. We use it. It will pop and it'll be fine. But you get one that's here, not only does it burn up the plug, it burns up, and I've lost actually power in that plug because of the products. So I have to have it rewired. It's the weirdest thing I ever seen. So don't use any of the products here if you possibly can. Buy it from a reputable company, even though it's China stuff that we're bringing over anyway, but it's better quality. They have criteria. At least there's criteria in the States. Don't send me the junk. I want the best. Well, here they send the junk that they can't sell in the States here, and that's what you get Lazada and Shopee and all and all. So, you know, like with this shirt, you buy this shirt in the States, which we did, it's double, triple stitched. You buy it from China, it's single stitched, and you can tell the stitching on it. So when you buy something, you know it's quality or non-quality. So I want to talk about the power situation. You may find yourself in that situation. So take your time and don't really worry about it too much. Just take your time about it. God bless everybody, and I'll see you guys next time.